The following excerpt from Behind the Labels depicts the human trafficking element in the garment industry on Saipan.
The garment workers live in barracks. Some of the barracks are located on the factory compound. They work, eat, and sleep in the same location. Many have curfew.
The factory had a regulation that we couldn't go out of the dormitory after midnight. The security guard wouldn't let us in or out after that point. The punishment for violating curfew was suspending us from work. I think they didn't want us to go about. They didn't want us to have contact with the outside world. I felt like I was in a prison. I had worked in China for 5 years before I came. There's no freedom here. I felt freer in China.
They're paying thousands and thousands of dollars to work on Saipan in the garment industry, and they frequently sign contracts that restrict their rights. We've seen provisions that prohibit them from escaping from the factory, and there'll be some sort of a fine imposed for the escape.
Fines for breach of contract can amount to a year's worth of wages. Strikes, pregnancy, organizing, or attending religious services are often prohibited by contract.
Say you sign a 2-year contract going to Saipan, you have worked there for 2 years. And if they want to go from one factory to the other, they have to apply to the government. Say, I want to transfer from factory A to factory B. They cannot do that without the government's approval. And the government will usually ask whether we want to transfer this person or not. We usually will not say yes. We usually refuse it. So the mobility between factories is very small.
Workers don't have the freedom to complain. They don't have the freedom to leave the factory. They are tied to their employer for a full year, and they're indebted by several $1,000s. They could never pay back that debt if they had to go back to China.
We came here through the recruiters of the factory. We paid a lot of money. We didn't make any profit. The money we made was only enough for us to pay the recruitment fee for coming here.
We want to pay off our debts way back home. That's why we keep on working and working and working under these horrible conditions. It's really, really slavery.